I slept with my boss to climb the corporate ladder. Okay, I'm just calmly riding through the city while reading a real relationship confession. This one's written by a woman. Let's get into it. I was 24 when I got my first real job in marketing. It felt like I'd finally made it. Glass offices, big brands, people who looked like success. I worked hard, I stayed late, I learned fast, and I told myself this company would change my life. My boss was in his 40s, charismatic, powerful, the kind of man who didn't need to say much. His attention alone felt heavy. He watched people too closely, especially women. Everyone noticed. No one talked about it. At the same time, my life outside work was falling apart. Student loans, credit cards, rent always late. I was earning but never saving. I looked successful and felt completely trapped. One day I was venting to my best friend on the phone at work. I didn't realize how thin the office walls were. I didn't realize who was listening. After that, things changed. He started calling me into his cabin more often. At first it was work discussions, then personal questions, then compliments that lasted a second too long. I ignored it, or at least I pretended to, until one day he handed me a gift, an expensive necklace. I refused it. My hands were shaking. He smiled and told me to keep it anyway. From that moment on, I was treated differently. Designer dresses appeared on my desk for office events. My birthday was celebrated like I was someone important. I got flexibility no one else had. Late arrivals, early leaves, no questions asked. I wasn't naive. I knew exactly what was happening. And this is the part people hate hearing. I didn't stop it. I wasn't dating anyone. I was tired of being broke, tired of struggling while everyone else looked like they had it together. So when the flirting became mutual, I let it. One drink after work turned into dinner. Dinner turned into going to his place just to talk. And that night crossed a line I knew I'd never uncross. I remember lying there afterward, staring at the ceiling, feeling like I had just sold something I could never buy back. But the next week, I got a raise, then a promotion, then another one. The guilt stayed, but so did the comfort. This went on for nearly 2 years. At work, I was respected, envied. People whispered about how lucky I was. At home, I avoided mirrors. He had a wife, a family, and somehow, she never suspected a thing. I wasn't his partner. I wasn't even his secret girlfriend. I was available when he wanted me, and invisible when he didn't. When I finally left the company, my title shocked people. General manager. At my age, I joined a bigger firm as a junior VP soon after. On paper, I looked unstoppable. But here's the truth I live with every day. I worked hard, but most of my success wasn't earned. It was negotiated in silence, paid for with my self-respect, and carried forward by shame. I don't feel proud. I don't feel victorious. I feel like someone who climbed a ladder and realized too late that it was leaning against the wrong wall. Yeah, that's the confession. Stories like this are uncomfortable because they don't have villains and heroes. Just people making choices while trying to survive. That's probably the saddest part of it.